The following is the installation of a 15 25 kV CSJA cold shrink splice from TE Connectivity. Read and understand the contents of these instructions before installation and follow all work practices required by Duke Energy. Fully abrade the outer jacket to ensure that you remove any dirt or grease from the jacket. Refer back to the instructions to get proper cutbacks and dimensions. Refer to the arrows on the splice body and park it correctly onto the cable. Wire brush the conductors on both sides. Refer to the instructions to ensure that the connector insert needs to be removed for proper installation of the shear bolt connector. Loosen, but do not back out each bolt. While making the connection with the shear bolt, ensure to leave as much inhibitor inside the cavity of the shear bolt connector. From the outside in, hand tighten all the shear bolts. Before shearing bolts, confirm that the dimension between semicon cutbacks is between 18.5 and 19.25 inch. Using an impact wrench, follow the tightening sequence as shown in the instructions. You'll start from the outside working in. Once the shearing is complete, check for any sharp burrs and sand any high spots with the abrasive strip included in the kit. Sand the LC shield using the same abrasive strip. Clean the connector, insulation, and LC shield with an approved cable cleaning solvent. Make sure that you also clean the cable insulation, moving in the direction as shown in the video. Notice that carbon residue can be collected by the rag. Clean the LC shield. Install several turns of marking tape onto the cable semicon 10 3/4 from the center of the connector as shown. This will be a guide for installing the splice body. The tape should be installed on the same side where the splice body is parked. Use one tube of blue DCC grease on each side of the splice. With a glove hand, lubricate the cable insulation up to the semicon cutback and tape mark with the supplied DCC, discharge control compound. Be sure to use extra DCC to form a bead around the semicon cutback as shown. It's important to note to use the blue DCC supplied in the kit, not standard silicone. Now you can position the splice body. Using a counterclockwise motion and someone to assist holding the splice to ensure that it aligns with the red marking tape. Continue to release the spiral holdout and pull out slowly. Pass it around and underneath the cable until the spiral has been completely removed. You can now remove spiral holdout and the red marking tape. With caution, remove the plastic wrap holding the ends of the mesh sock wires on the expanded splice, and straighten the mesh socks out over the LC shield. Install 2 spring clamps over the mesh sock wires and cable metallic shield on each side of the splice. Tighten each spring clamp by twisting it in the direction it is wrapped. For JCN applications, refer back to this kit's instructions for proper installation. Fold the mesh sock wires over the spring clamps towards the center of the splice. Then tape over the ends of the mesh sock wires and cover any sharp points. Do this on both sides. Clean the outer jacket of the cable on both sides and dry if using a solvent before applying the gray sealing mastic. You will apply gray sealing mastic on both sides using light tension. Twist the black rejacketing sleeve from side to side to release the grease. Slide the rejacketing tube over the ground braid onto the cable jacket. Repeat this on both sides of the splice. Cut off the mesh sleeve, being careful not to damage the jacket or the splice body. You can now wipe clean the splice, and the CSJA installation is complete.